money decisions are not financial. Listen, most money decisions are not financial. They're actually identity based, but you just don't actually realize it because what people say that makes them drive toward certain spending habits or certain ways they use their money is identity. Everyone says, "This is who I am," right? But that's not the issue, right? We're using that as a point of like everybody's doing that. Whether you think it or not, everyone is using identity to drive what they do with money, how they spend their money, how they allocate their money. And your identity influences your choices unconsciously, whether you like it or not. So, because we understand that every single person, whether you like it or not, whether you think it or not, like this is part of our 3,000-year-old psyche wired system, part of our body, no matter what you want to do or change, it's like gravity. I don't care how much you don't want gravity to exist. It doesn't actually matter what you want. This is how the nature of that works, of physics works. And this is how the nature of money psychology works for humans. We all make identity based decisions. It's not really a financial decision. We say, this is who I am, and so this is who I am, so this is what I'm going to do. So, because we understand that to be our basis, the real question is not, I'm bad with money, or, what are my financial decisions? The real question is, who am I? Who am I being like? And what is actually influencing my choices? Because emotional alignment in your spending means that you buy to feel like a version of yourself, not based on a need. So you are buying whatever you're buying to feel like a version of yourself. Either the version you want to feel like, or a version that you think you're like, or a version that you don't want to be like, or a version you don't even know is real, or that you've been ignoring. Whatever the case is, you're trying to align yourself with an identity every single time you spend money. But most people don't actually know what identity they're trying to align themselves with, and they're so confused, like, why don't my money habits match the money that I want to actually have? Why don't my money results actually match the actions I'm doing? It's because you've never really acknowledged that you're doing it based on, this is who I am. Literally, that's how everyone spends their money. So if you can actually get yourself to say, when I spend money, I'm reinforcing an identity, and then it just repeats itself over and over and over, then you actually get to make your own spending rules. You get to pick your own identity, by the way. So now you get to pick, what do you want your spending identity to be? Do you want to be a avoidant spender who's anxious about money? Do you want to be someone that reflects on their money decisions? Do you want to be someone who's very emotionally intelligent? Do you want to be someone who's very emotionally, not emotionally intelligent, but financially, have a lot of financial intelligence? Or be someone who has a lot of financial savviness. They're very creative with their money or with getting money. Like, what is the identity you want to have? Because every time you spend your money, it's like putting $1 towards a version of yourself who you want to be, and you're getting a return on that investment that you've put out. You're getting that right back in the form of whatever outcome you put your money into, right? So the biggest thing is, this is a rewiring identity rule. You have a 1-sentence rule for what you want it to be, and then you don't change the money behavior first. You actually are going to change your identity first. And when you change your money identity, then your money behavior changes after it. And what happens is, when people try to change their money behavior first and they've never really done any identity work, all they do is create friction in the way that they spend money. But what you really want to be doing is create friction in the impulses you have. Because right now, you may be spending money unconsciously on things that you may or may not want to. Mostly may not. It's probably stuff you don't want to spend money on. And so when it comes to spending money, you actually want to create friction in the impulse, and you want to spend money based on the identity who you want to be. You know, a lot of people's money identity is based in impulse. They're like, I'm an impulse buyer. I'm a person that just buys things when they feel like it. And that's actually part of their identity. I've been a person like that before. And so I can definitely attest to that. But that's not part of financial intelligence, financial IQ, or financial literacy. So it's very important that you do that identity work before you start making financial decisions, and you actually repeat it before every decision. Literally, this is who I am. So this is the action that type of person would make. And then as a result, you get the outcome that is aligned with what you've done, right? And you only can do that once you've looked at the identity first. This is very, very like taking it way back. Like, a lot of people who have already got into financial intelligence have already done this work before, like unconsciously, but this is what you've done. Like, if you ever changed your identity with money, this is the process you've done with rewiring your identity, because you cannot change your money behavior just by changing your behavior, because your behavior is driven by action, and your action is driven by emotion, and your emotion is driven by identity. So you need to go and understand what identity you want to be, and don't spend more than 2 seconds shaming yourself for who you've been in the past. That's like who you were when you started this video. Like, we're not even talking about him or her anymore. Like, we're not concerned with that. We're concerned with the person right now that's about to finish this video and literally changing their identity first. And you don't have to say, oh, well, I've been that in the past, so I have to like be that for a while, gotta transition out of it. No, it's a decision. It's the same decision you made to get in that identity in the first place. It's the same split-second decision you can make to get out of it, and a split-second decision you can make to have a new identity when it comes to money. You don't want to be the person that doesn't understand that every time you spend money, you're reinforcing your identity, and you're repeating that every time you spend money. You need to be the person that understands what you're actually spending money on, so that you can eventually get to the outcome that you want to have with your finances.